What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing another video. The new DLC characters have been out for almost 2 weeks now, so I've been able to get some time to understand these characters a little bit more. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought Vegito was not that good of a character. This is because of his abnormal combo routes compared to the majority of the cast in the game. But slowly I've been able to reconsider that thought, and I gotta say he's pretty damn good and fun as hell to play as. Once you get the muscle memory down for his combos and maximize his meter gain, he can fit on almost any team at point. So today I'm going to try to help you guys wrap your head around this wacky character and figure out what it is that makes him tick. Be sure to comment down below what it is you like about Vegito and who is your favorite character right now in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Starting off with Vegito's normals, he has great buttons seeing as how each of his normal attacks advance him forward, making his reach a threat for opponents at all times during the match. His light attack steps forward and is a multi-hitting move where the second hit makes him take another step forward as well. I gotta say this is one of my least favorite things about Vegito. His first light attack being a multi-hit means he has to throw out all the kicks every single time, and because of this, if you whiff this attack, you're pretty much open and helpless to any other attack. In my opinion, if they switched his first light attack with the second light attack, this would not be an issue because you could just buffer the second hit if you whiff the first one, but it's just a minor bump in the road. Standing medium is a great attack with awesome range to go with it. From neutral state, it can actually reach the opponent from the beginning of the match. Crouching medium has a ridiculous animation. For one thing, it has crazy range, but it looks as if Vegito is actually jumping or going for an overhead attack, which can fake out opponents in those footsie situations. And as an adult Gohan and Trunks main, adding another one of these to my team is just moistifying to me. Moving on to special attacks, Vegito's neutral S attack is actually this short range sphere that bounces opponents upwards. This is a different type of ki blast compared to other characters, which is another thing that makes him stand out from the rest. You can actually make this ki blast travel further by holding forward while pressing the S button. Pressing down in the S button is Vegito's Spirit Sword, which on hit switches sides with your opponent. This attack needs to be close to hit a grounded opponent, however, if they are aerial, it's going to connect more consistently. This main use for this move, of course, is an anti-air, but it can combo right after his neutral S attack, which tracks opponents once they are launched. Quarter circle forward S causes Vegito to jump and toss 5 ki blasts that can be dashed through. I kinda wish he had a beam, but unfortunately it is not, but there are some cool gimmicks you can actually do in a block string with this attack, which I'll get into later. But from what I've seen, you cannot really combo off of this attack even when you momentum cancel it as you're following. So far all I get are blue combos with this thing. Kinda wish there was more combo potential to this move. Now we're going to get into Vegito's mainly used special moves, which are his quarter circle back light, medium, or heavy attack, which is his air grab. Quarter circle back light activates quickly, but does not cause a sliding knockdown, while quarter circle back medium is the main one that you're going to be using all the time because it does cause sliding knockdowns, while starting up a bit slower than the light version. The heavy version is a great blend of the two. It starts up quickly, causing a sliding knockdown and does a bit more damage, but it does cost 1 bar, which to me is not worth it. Quarter circle forward heel kicks will be used in almost every single combo. Each version has great screen carry, but the one you're going to be using the most is the medium version because it causes a wall bounce, which is great for combo extensions. All versions of this move have amazing pushback on block and are relatively safe. The heavy version has massive screen carry and you can squeeze in a jump in air combo with it if you choose to go that route. And then at the end of that combo, you can even squeeze in the medium version air kicks for some more damage. Aerial special attack is essential for extending your combos and building as much meter as you possibly can. Instead of having a traditional ki blast, Vegito's sword tracks opponents and launches them back up in the air to him. Using this attack in mid-screen combos requires a specific series of inputs than your corner combos do. Basically, if you're mid-screen, you're going to want to follow your combo chains outside of the auto attack rotation of just using lights. If you only use lights throughout the combo, your opponent during the second aerial S attack will not be low enough for you to combo into your heel kicks. So here we're going to actually have to press from light to medium, jump, and then from light to medium again in the combo chain so it executes perfectly. You'll know you did it right if your sword connects and your opponent's head is below Vegito's foot. Vegito's quarter circle back special is a parry which you can only combo after using a vanish. The damage scaling because of the vanish kicks in and it does minimal but acceptable damage. You can parry both melee and ki blasts and also beam attacks, but you cannot parry a level 1 or level 3 special. Also, you need to be a certain range for the parry grab animation to kick in or else it will whiff. Vegito's grounded level 1 super covers the entire screen, however the damage varies depending on how far he is from the opponent. The closer you are, the more damage and hits you're going to land on this super. Aerial level 1 does slightly less damage than grounded level 1, however with the aerial level 1 you are closer to your opponent and you can follow up with more pressure. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, all characters have to follow the same generic combo chain going from light to medium. However, with Vegito, he actually has a reverse beat, which means he can go from mediums to light combos, etc. The only other character that has this is Adult Gohan once he's at level 7. This is all thanks to Vegito's unique crouching light attack. It doesn't hit low or overhead, which would be awesome, but it does have insane range and lets him restart his combo chains. For example, he can go from medium crouching light to standing light auto combo if he wanted to. Right here is a generic light to medium combo ending with his level 1 super. The damage isn't the worst, but if you utilize Vegito's reverse beat properly, you can get some ridiculous damage off. Right there, that was 1 bar and it got me slightly less than 4,000 damage. Now if we do that exact combo but with the reverse beat starter, look what happens. Now that wasn't the most optimal version, but you get the idea. You can easily cross over 5,000 damage with 1 bar if you utilize his reverse beat whenever possible. Reverse beat also won't always be a viable option since it's starting with a medium attack and it's going to get beaten if your opponent uses their light attack because of the frame advantage. Now we're going to get into some combos. One thing you're going to want to get comfortable with for Vegito is his reverse beat starters. Personally, I like this reverse beat variation so we can jump cancel into aerial combos. This also puts us in a position to use aerial spirit sword twice in one combo, which lets us build massive amounts of meter. Right here I start this combo off from 0 bars just to give you a visual idea of what to expect from this string. Now that was almost 5,000 damage with about a 1.8 meter gain. If you want to be as efficient as you can with Vegito and have crazy options and resources, you're going to have to utilize aerial spirit sword as much as you can. Also remember, in order for the second spirit sword to connect, you need to bring the character up to your level, and in order to do this, you need to use the light and medium combos instead of all lights. This medium reverse beat starter does slightly more damage but doesn't connect easily due to it being a medium starter. What I mean by that is that it's a rather slow startup compared to a light attack, and it doesn't begin with a mix-up to throw your opponent off like if you did a crouching medium. But it still has a great amount of range, screen carry, and builds a hell of a lot of meter. And also, it does crazy damage. Look at that, 5,400 damage. That's crazy. The trickiest part in this combo is when you have to juggle your opponent after the wall bounce from the heel kicks. You have to be really fast with your light inputs there if you want to connect to follow up the combo. This was my first combo that I learned with Vegito, and it took some time to practice, but I still drop it every now and then. Be sure to get really comfortable with him. Now this next combo is a slight variation from the last one. You're going to need at least 1 bar to pull this one off. The main difference here is that we don't go into the light auto combo after the wall bounce. Instead, we're going to throw out 2 lights and a standing medium and then jump cancel that to do an aerial combo, and it's going to lead us into our spirit sword to build meter and relaunch opponents. So in order to balance Vegito, they made it so that opponents regain control quickly after the wall bounces. So we can't go for double spirit swords in this one because your opponent can air tech out of it. But it still builds crazy amounts of meter and almost does 6,000 damage from 2 bars while also keeping your opponent in the corner. This character is nuts. I love it. This combo is actually one of my favorites. This is a crouching medium variation of the reverse beat where you start off with 0 bars in the corner and we're going to jump cancel the second medium attack into our light medium aerial attacks. You want to be sure to also squeeze those 2 spirit swords in there for maximum damage and meter gain. You want to make sure to end this with the aerial level 1 super so it leaves us right in front of the opponent and we almost have 1 entire full bar to work with while he's still in the corner. Amazing. This next combo requires at least 1 bar to start it off, and you build enough mid combos so that you can use a second bar, and by the end of it all, you're left with almost 1 entire full bar. That's a lot of bars. You can get the most damage out of this one from the grounded level 1 super, because the aerial grab brings you right in front of your opponent. The level 1 grounded super lands all the hits and does the max amount of damage, rather than doing the aerial super, which does bring you down in front of your opponent. It does slightly less damage because it's only 2 hits. This next combo isn't the most efficient combo of them all, but it's without a doubt super interesting. Vegito started with 1 bar can carry the opponent all the way from one corner to the other side of the screen, and it looks super stylish in the process. I recommend learning this just to fucking style on your opponents. I don't care how inefficient it is, it's so badass. I mean, look at this. And if you don't end it with a super, you can continue overhead or low pressure on your opponent's wake up because they're stuck in the corner. If you got the meter, this probably will net you a kill depending on how you play your cards and bait your opponent throughout the match. After you screen carry the opponent to the other side, you can even use assist pressure to choose whether to go for an overhead jump-in kick like I do in this clip, or opt in for the low reverse speed startup instead. Starting with the low will definitely put this entire sequence over 10,000 total damage, which is enough to kill the opponent. Not to mention build insane amounts of meter to stockpile for the next enemy. I honestly think Vegito is all about building meter. That's truly what it is. He's the definition of a battery and point character in this game. Vegito also fits really well as the final character on your team because he doesn't really need assists to rack up insane amounts of damage. This combo is really great for snap vanishes, but thanks to Vegito having an aerial super that tracks opponents, he can end the Dragon Rush with a super for maximum damage. My favorite thing about this one is that it is a mid-screen combo. Most combos with Vegito have the same exact formula, but they have different routes that you need to take, whether it's in the corner and you can go for heavy enders and reloop with the Spirit Sword, or it's mid-screen corner carries to box your opponent in. There's just so much to this character that I didn't originally see, and I almost feel horrible for my first opinion. This is also why I'm horrible at making character guides when characters come out on release week. Not only do I work a full-time job 45 minutes away from my house, I never feel comfortable making a video without fully understanding a character's strengths and weaknesses, which I feel like I personally can't do within like the first couple of days. And I need at least like a week or two with these characters alone in practice mode, watching other people break down some stuff, and then putting my own twist on what this character is about. This is the corner variation of the Snap Vanish combo, pretty much the same concept, but just utilizing the corner to link heavy attacks into down heavy attacks over and over again, repeating for maximum amounts of damage. And that's it for combos. Now onto the most important thing when it comes to learning a character, block strings. Like every character in the game, Vegito can do light, medium, special attack and still remain safe. But the main thing when it comes to block strings is how you use the character's specific special moves. Vegito's heel kicks on block creates enough distance to keep you safe against your opponent. This is great mid-screen. Do not use this in the corner because in the corner there are no pushbacks. Opponents with fast normals can actually beat you right there. Vegito's aerial light attack is actually really amazing because it's angled. This makes landing an overhead hit much more consistent. One of my favorite block strings with Vegito allows you to cross up opponents, and this light attack can easily connect, leading to some dirty cross-ups. If you're going for this block string, I highly recommend calling in the assist character before you use the light grab. Whiffing this grab puts you far enough to the other side of the opponent, which can be pretty tricky to block if you're not quick enough. Calling in your assist before you switch is vital because your opponent will be getting hit from both sides, and this makes the guessing game a lot harder for opponents. Block strings are definitely something you're going to want to learn in order to master any character in this game. Even if you don't know any flashy or long damaging combos, but as long as you have the fundamentals down along with block strings, you can give even the best players a rough time in these matchups. Quarter circle forward special puts Vegito airborne, and if you do it in a block string while you have your opponent in the corner, you could definitely squeeze in an overhead attack to maximize the pressure. I recommend calling in an assist to cover your character's landing because it definitely is not a safe attack since Vegito throws out regular ki blasts with his quarter circle forward, and it can be super dash through or down heavy through. Vegito really has some interesting stuff you could pull off with his block strings. These definitely aren't all his block strings. I recommend you guys go into training mode and practice these while also figuring out what else you can do with Vegito. This guide is just to point you in the right direction, and I hope this does help you do that. This overhead starter block string is an easy hit confirmed if the Spirit Sword lands, because it will create a smash animation which kind of stops time and allows you to hit your super dash button to follow up with a combo. The only problem with this is that if you start off with an instant air dash, you lose your jump, so the combo can't go on for as long as it normally would if it connects. Overall, it's still a good option to hit your opponent with on wake up, especially if they're trying to attack upwards, because all these moves, if they block it, it's just fine. Just make sure that you call in your assist to cover your landing and make yourself safe. Vegito doesn't really have much assist combos. It really depends on your style of play, in all honesty, and which characters you're using with him. I use assist mainly when it comes to Vegito as pressure, because this madman can rack up some serious damage on his own. Similar to Adult Gohan, Vegito standing heavy into his down heavy makes him airborne, which makes him able to throw out overhead attacks on block. However, be careful because his heavy to down heavy only connects if it's in the corner. Mid-screen, you definitely don't want to throw this out because it will completely whiff, and you're going to be wide open for quite some time, trust me. Most characters in this game can cancel their second down heavy attack into a jump to link a second set of air combos. By now you probably already noticed that Vegito actually can't do this. In addition to this, his aerial heavy attack does not cause a sliding knockdown. These are two things that make using Vegito a bit tricky because you have to play him differently from other characters. However, while Vegito is actually in sparking, he can jump cancel his down heavies mid-air just like the rest of the characters in this game. Some really good stuff to know and to keep for those last minute comebacks with the Vegito. Vegito's neutral game can sort of be one-dimensional, seeing as how he only has one low attack, which is a medium, and his first jab is a multi-hitting kick that requires you to complete the entire animation before you can do anything else. These two things are my most disliked aspects of him, but overall I think he's a very fun character to play as, but he does require a lot of work to play him consistently. That's it for my guide on how to play Vegito. Overall, he's a very fun character to play as, but is a challenge due to him being a friggin' oddball when it comes to combos. Most likely, if Gogeta ever comes out in this game, he will be better than Vegito if he has a normal jab and aerial heavy. Just saying. E3 last week was amazing, and I can't wait to play some of those games for you guys in the future. One game I'm definitely excited for and you can expect to see lots of content for is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Every character is back and December can't come by any quicker. You can definitely expect character guides, tech tutorials, and combo videos once that game drops. I actually bought a Nintendo Switch today and I got Zelda to hold me over until then. I ended up actually trading in my Xbox One X, which was just collecting dust in the corner. I'm thinking of doing a live stream soon for Dragon Ball FighterZ for all my subscribers, whether you're on PS4 or PC. Let me know if you're interested and we can work out a day during the week sometime and we can run some matches and just hang out on the stream. Currently, I'm working on a special Dragon Ball FighterZ video. You can expect that in a few days, but also be sure to follow me on Instagram from the link in the description below. I'm going to be uploading lots of gaming related content on there, so stay tuned to that. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be uploading more Dragon Ball FighterZ videos soon, so stay tuned to the channel. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.